자, 킹덤컴 방송 시작할게요. 오늘 조금 늦게 켰는데, 아, 시작해보도록 하죠. 어제 아이템을 좀 갖다 팔았죠. 메인스토어 새벽에 다시 이거 플레이하고 싶어가지고 들어와서 제가 좀 메인 퀘스트를 진행한 건 아니고 맵 여기저기 탐방하면서 이것저것 해봤습니다. 도둑질도 좀 하고. 오늘은 메인 퀘를 조금 진행해야 될 것 같아요. 사제랑 대화하러 가야 될 것 같은데 우지추로 가야겠네요. 멀다. 이렇게 멀어. 빠른 이동을 해서 우지추로 가겠습니다. 맵 끝에서 끝이네. 엄청 머네 우지추가. 지금 소리가 잘 나가고 있죠? 입니다. 왔는데 사제랑 대화를 해야 되거든요. 사제가 아직 출근을 안 했네요. 일단 여기 왔으니까 여기서 저장 한번 해야겠죠? 청설집이 어디더라? 아, 여기다. 여관 여기죠. 한숨 자서 여기 저장을 하고, 아, 이게 저녁이구나 이제. 아, 이런 시간이 이렇게 되면 자고 있는 애 좀 깨워야 되나? 음. 바로 뒤가 교회거든요? 횃불이 없나 본데? 횃불이 없네요. 횃불 좀 챙겨와야겠다. 횃불 챙기고, 아, 이 시간 넘겨야겠어. 딱 저녁 시간이 됐거든요? 사제를 만나려면 시간을 좀 보내야 될 것 같아요. 갔다가 사제를 만나러 가죠. 낮에. 얼마나 잘 수 있는 거야? 일단 자죠. 밤을 보내고 낮에 사제 찾아서 메인 퀘 진행하도록 할게요. 여기 여관 맨날 사다리 타고 올라가야 돼가지고 별로 안 좋아. 마음에 안 들어. 만복도가 60. 시간을 좀 보내야겠죠. 지금 그 상태로는 아직 아침이라 애들이 다 자고 있을 테니까 시간 좀 보내서 아침에가 깨어나 있으면 가서 말 걸도록 하겠습니다. 사실 저기서 검술 연습 중이거든요. 말을 한번 걸어보죠. 루보씨.
Of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what
있었는데?
the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
어허, 뭘 알고 있는데 지금 얽매여 있죠. 예외.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
얘 이미 죽었어.
You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
루보씨가 유일한 단서였어.
To the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Farewell.
아니, 너 검술 다룰 줄 알던데?
Wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practiced with a stick. A reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Have you thought of a way to help me solve that murder?
Let's leave it for the evening. Come to the tavern after sunset and we'll talk it over.
아, 무슨 저녁이야. 이런 또 시간 또 보내야 되죠, 이러면. 첩? 고드윈의 첩? 고드윈이 저 할아버지 아닌가? 신부가 첩도 두고 있네. 미쳤네. 저녁에 오라고 하네요. 저녁에 오라고 하면 어떡하나. 결국 대기를 좀 타야 된다는 얘긴데? 저녁이면 20시? 쯤이면 될 것 같죠? 아, 저기 있네. 여기 와 있네요.
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat.
Coming.
A tankard here.
Here.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
다 죽었어.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
끔찍했죠.
Seems so
일단 내가 얘기를 좀 이렇게 풀어줘야 쟤도 자연스럽게 썰을 풀겠죠.
They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovno. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Neuhof? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claim. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
검을 잘
You're
다루던데?
pretty handy with a sword.
뭔가 얘도 있나봐요, 뒷 배경이.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force.
얘도 뭐 전사 같은 거였나
A bit of
보네.
exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I
아,
tell
뭐
you
얘기해줄 것처럼 하면서 안 하네.
I'd be betraying the confessional secret.
Ale
But-
for me.
First thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujitz isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. The tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days, and stories from real life with a nice moral to them are popular as well. especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver.
아니 뭐 이 1400년 중세시대 때 종교인이나 뭐 현대시대의 종교인이나 뭐 크게 다르지 않은 것 같네요.
You want to steal and murder?
또
Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay?
뭐 어느 시기나 뭐 깨어있는 사람도 계시고 말 그대로 그런 걸 좀 이용해서 사리사욕을 채우는 사람도 있고 다 똑같나 본데요?
They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head.
근데 그래도 중세는 가장 천주교랑 기독교가 많이 흥했던 시대 아닌가? 하긴 뭐
This Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
이때는 막 뭐 마녀 사냥도 하고 막 그랬던 시절이니까.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
뭐요? 내로남불이요?
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women. Hell for me.
이 시대 때는 신부가 여자랑 결혼도 못하고 그런 시절이었나?
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
God bless them.
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
사회에 불만이 많네, 이 신부님이. 근데 어쩔 수 없는 거긴 하다. 뭐 어느 조직이나 어디나 뭐 다 똑같지 뭐. 술 마시지 뭐. 그래, 마셔주자. 얘한테 아직 정보를 얻어내지 못했죠. 좀 장단을 맞춰줘야 될 것 같아요. 뭐요? 부어라 마셔라. 도박도 하고. 헐.
Enough of this.
기다리.
Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us. Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone. So what? So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
아, 뭐야? 왜 끌어들여, 나를. 헨리 지금 기압이 확 들어가 있어요. 술 취해가지고. 뭐야? 갑자기? 왜 날 다굴 때려? 이러면 된 거요? 아니네, 행정관님, 아이고.
It's a sin to fight.
아이고, 행정관님, 왼쪽, 오른쪽, 왼쪽, 오른쪽, 왼쪽, 오른쪽, 왼쪽, 오른쪽. 행정관, 잘 싸우는구나. 뭐야, 뭔데? 종탑에 왜 올라가래?
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
뭐 하는데? 와, 완전 미쳤네.
People say.
Say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
진짜 종쳐?
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
고든 신부 개뚜까 맞았네.
This is wonderful.
Bloody oath.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
뭔데? 이런. 아니, 안 돼요, 이거. 방송, 못 나가, 이거. 안 돼. 잠깐만. 안 돼. 이거 못 나가. 아니, 이게 나 진짜로 다 나올 줄은 몰랐네? 아니, 보통 이런 거 스킵돼야 되는 거 아니야? 잠깐만. 이거 마이크 계속 넣어야겠다. 안 돼. 이거 못 나가. 안 돼. 미친 거 아니야? 이 무슨. 아니, 진짜 빠꾸 없이 나오네. 그냥, 헨리만 딱 취하고 옷 벗어 있는 상태로 아침을 맞이한 건 줄 알고 마음 놓고 있었는데. 이거, 이 영상 잘리는 거 아닌가.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
잠깐, 이 게임 19세 이용가였나? 지금 굉장히 당황했어요, 지금. 영상 잘못하면 잘리겠는데? 약간 송출이 됐거든요? 아씨.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you?
전혀 저런 장면이 나올 거라고는 생각을
My
못했어요.
friend Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it?
아, 제가 반응이 조금 느렸어요. 뭔 상황인지, 아.
Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
아,
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
와, 이 미친 신부가 지금 저를 악의 구렁텅이로 지금, 와, 씨.